So welcome everybody. We are in session 1 of our software quality assurance class. And we will talk a little bit about what you have to know when you begin the training with us. So we will talk about the profession. We will talk about the history of the school. We will answer all your questions. Whatever questions you might have, we will answer all your questions. And so I'm trying to answer some of your questions before you even ask them. But so first of all, we are saying welcome. And it's an honor to be with you today. And I have, how many people we have here? 99 people. 100 including myself. So we have 99 people online at the moment. Then a couple of words about myself. So my name is Mikhail Portnov. And so in 1978, quite a few years ago, I've got my bachelor's in telecommunications. It was the Moscow Institute of Telecommunications. And my major is networking and telephone stations, that kind of stuff. Then I've got my second degree, university degree in mathematics. It was 1983. I was working and doing my second degree in parallel with that. Then I was on a PhD program in the area of professional education, and kind of diverse educational background, I would say. And in 1990, actually, we left the Soviet Union for California, for Silicon Valley. Actually, it wasn't Silicon Valley yet, it was San Francisco. So at the end of 1990, in November of 1990, we left Moscow for San Francisco. Then, so what I did in my life. After the University of Telecommunications, so I was working for 4 years as R&D engineer, doing digital schematics for telecommunications equipment. Then I worked as a senior researcher developing methods of intensive instruction. So I know how to teach fast. Not because I can speak fast, but because I know how the mechanisms of learning work. So I worked there. Then after communists did allow private enterprises, so I was running my own organization, which specialized in developing trainings for commercial and individual kind of clients. And then I came to the United States and worked here as a software QA engineer, which happened by accident. So a friend of mine introduced me to the company where he worked, and then they hired me as a software QA engineer. I didn't have any idea what it is at the moment. And that one happened in 92. And then in 94, I started that Portnov Computer School. At first, I was working in the field and running the school, and then I said, okay, school takes so much energy, so I cannot do an engineering job in parallel with that. So I stopped my engineering job and I focused completely on Portnov Computer School, and it was in 1996. I started teaching in 94. It was August of 94. So in August of this year, we will celebrate 30th anniversary of the school. What else? So how my career started. Okay, it's about my QA career. So as I mentioned, the first job came just by accident. A friend of mine worked in this company. He brought my resume there, and he gave me a book on C programming, so I read the book, and it was kind of easy because when I worked as a digital design engineer, I was doing programming of microprocessors, so which is kind of close, So he brought me to his company for an interview, and they offered me to be to do software testing, and it was manual and automated software testing. So I did some automation, I did some manual right there, and that company collapsed in 9 months. So I went to the job market first time. It was 93. It was probably April of 93. I go there, and within a week, I had 2 interviews. Actually, I sent five resumes. Within a week, I sent 5 resumes. I didn't find anything, else, just 5. Out of 5 resumes sent, I've got 2 interviews, and 1 interview resulted in a job offer. It was a permanent position, 36K. And then that company was purchased by another company in 6 months, so they raised my salary to 40K. And when I got my very first job, and I asked them, guys, what is that profession about? I've never heard about that profession. And they told me, well, if you work hard, so maybe in 5 years, okay, you will grow up to 40K. So it didn't take me 5 years, so it happened within a year. So they hired me for permanent position in probably November of 93. So first 3 months I was there as a consultant. They gave me 28K in November of 92, and then in October, November of 93, it was already 40K. So changing jobs, guys, helps to get more. So, and that second job was a multimedia startup, and multimedia at that time was like, I don't know, artificial intelligence today, or like internet a couple of years later. So it was a big time thing. So that company got restructured in 94, also in the spring. So and then I got another job in 94 with Borland. Borland was a glorious company. It's like Facebook today, maybe. Third job. But what happened within a year, from 93 to 94, what happened, instead of 5 jobs a week, 5 interviews, 5 resumes a week, I was able to send maybe 20 resumes a day. A day. So 100 resumes a week, not 5 anymore. So I had multiple interviews, multiple job offers, and I did have experience already, So, and I've got the job, and it was a contract job. It was paying $35 per hour. You guys cannot imagine even how much it was. $35 per hour at that time. That is how I started the school. So I've got that job in maybe May or June, and in August 20th, 94, I started that school because I couldn't keep it for myself. I've seen how fast it is growing, and I said, so many people are around looking for a job, having no idea that field exists. And there was a recession, by the way. At that time, there was a recession. Lots of people, lots of immigrants from former Soviet Union, educated people, they couldn't get a job. They were receiving welfare benefits, which is very humiliating if you think about it. So then I became a QA manager. Another friend of mine, so they needed QA manager in their company, so he called me and they hired me as a QA manager. And it was in 95, and it was paying 60K. Which so each and every job, each and every time you move, so it pays more and more and more. It wasn't my last job as a software QA engineer, so I did have. I'm just thinking, I did have 2 more, but at some point in 96, I said, look, it's too too heavy of a load, because I am kind of under investing myself at work. I'm under investing myself in the school, so it was very tough to live with that. So I said, okay, let's run the school, because that is where I change the world. So I do not change the world by doing software testing. What I want you to realize here is that software QA profession is relatively young. So it started in early 90s. It didn't exist prior to that. And even if we look at late 90s, if we look at, let's say, 98, pretty much all the companies would have QA department, QA people at least, in their companies. But if you look at proportions, for 10 developers, they would have maybe one QA person. In today's world, for 10 developers, they would have 10 QAs. Okay, so it was growing fast. Any questions at that point? We can make subtitles in Russian. Yeah, after we post the recordings, yeah, I can definitely add the subtitles. Okay. No question. Good. So far, so good. So far, so good. Keep going. So we happen to be the very first software testing school in the world. I mean, I didn't think about it at that time, but yeah, eventually I realized, wait a second, we are the only one. Okay, so what is unique about QA profession? About QA profession. So it is relatively easy to learn compared to other IT professions. It is not that much technical, or to be more exact, to start working, to get your very first job. You don't have to be as technical as it would take to get a software developer job, or systems administration job, or any other IT job. So it is not as technical as other IT jobs when you start your first job. So it is relatively easy to learn, and no matter what your background is. Definitely it might be easier if you have technical background of whatever kind of engineering or science, but we've got people of all ways of life, and they are very successful in that field. So it's much more about common sense rather than any specific knowledge of mathematics or programming or anything like that. So you do not need any programming, you do not need any mathematics to start your first job. 4-6 months is enough to start working. I would say 4-6 months is enough to learn the profession to the level of being employable. So then you might need some time on the job market. You might need another 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 months on the job market, depending on the state of the job market. Let's say as of today, it is not as active as it was a couple of years ago, but it is still alive. So it's not like you go to the job market and there are no jobs. No, it's not like that. Fairly high compensation. So it says starts with $40 per hour. Let's say, let's change it here. I will say 30, 35. Today's market is a little bit different. I do not want you to have 35, to have kind of expectations which might not be realized. So let's say 30, 35 to be more on target. High demand in all parts of United States, Canada, Europe. We have graduates working in New Zealand and Australia and Emiratis and God knows all over the Europe, all over the United States and Canada. You can start with a relatively low technical skill level. That is what I told you before. So you don't have to be technically strong. You should have enough, but it's not much. Age doesn't work against you. So definitely, if you are 22, it's nicer than, let's say, 52. But listen, we have so many people over 50 who successfully got their jobs. It is not like learning programming, for example. If you learn programming at age 50 and you want to get your first job, it's a problem. In software testing, it's not a problem at all. It happens a lot. Whatever degree or no degree you have is fine. Definitely, I would say maybe 9 out of 10 students of that school do have some degree. But we have sometimes 17 years old. We have 18 years old here in the school, which is also fine. Remote positions available no matter where you live. As of today, the trend is that company want people to go back to offices. But statistically, I can tell you that 30%, as we speak, 30% of our graduates getting their first job get it remotely, 100% remotely. The rest of the market is primarily what is called hybrid. Means you go to office, let's say 2-3 days a week. I'll show you just a second. Let me show you something. I've got it yesterday or day before yesterday. Just a second. I'll show you. There is a lady who wrote me something about that. Victoria, yeah, look at that. Here is what she says. She lives in Houston, Texas. She says, yeah, hi, Mikhail, good news. I've got a job offer. Thank you very much for this and that. Friday, I did my drug test. Okay, the job is in Dallas. 3.5 hours drive from Houston, where I live. 2 days, two days in the office and 3 days remotely. Okay? So, which means she can take, let's say, Tuesday and Wednesday as office days. So she drives one way on Tuesday in the morning, and then she drives back on Wednesday night. But that remote, that hybrid type of employment allows people to live in Houston and go to work to Dallas. So if you have to be in office every day, you cannot spend 8 hours a day driving. But if it happens just once a week, basically, so one way on Tuesday, another way back on Wednesday, so it is doable. It is doable. So that is just to comment on the remote, hybrid, that kind of nature. So, for example, here in Silicon Valley, we have the city of Sacramento, which is the capital of California, and it takes like 2 hours drive to get from Sacramento to Silicon Valley. So for everyday commute, it's too much. But if you have to be here 2 times a week, it's fine. So remote positions are available no matter where you live. But again, the trend is toward hybrid jobs. Industry knowledge might help. For example, if you come from accounting background, it helps you to get a job with accounting software development. If you have a, let's say, medical background, we do have sometimes people with medical, microbiological, that kind, chemical. They are preferred candidates when it comes to pharmaceutical companies, medical devices companies. They have QA departments and development departments and so on. If you have knowledge of foreign languages, sometimes what gives you the first job is your knowledge of whatever that language might be, Turkish or Hebrew or whatever, French. And then you do not compete with people who have better degree, who have degrees in software quality assurance. They might have degree in computer science, but normally people with degrees in computer science do not do quality assurance. So they are trained to do more challenging jobs. And why we talk about the uniqueness of quality assurance as a field, that thing stays the same for the last 30 years. When we started that school 30 years ago, I was able to say pretty much same thing about software QA as a professional niche, career niche. Okay, so it didn't change. Okay. So what about your English level? Yeah. So we teach classes in English, and so you can get a job. If we teach you in Russian, I don't know how you're going to get a job in the United States or in European Union. So we teach classes in English. We also have classes in Russian. If we look at your notes here, so that is your class page, and that is the previous class. The class of H2H means hybrid. What happens to hybrid class? They learn first in Russian, and then they join your class, which is in English with some support in Russian. So if you go to that one, copy, I will give you the link here. That link is for the first 3 trial sessions. So you will get access to the complete recording after you join the program. But so the H2 class, so they start in Russian and they just completed the full course in Russian. And now they are joining you in English language class because they want to get a job in English. So we make sure you can pass an interview. So you have to be functional to work in English and to pass interviews in English. So you have to understand questions, you have to answer questions, and we practice with answering your interview questions. We know all the questions, so we practice with the questions. And you also have class in English. If you look at your schedule, once a week you have a separate class on English for QA people. So we are trying to enhance your English skills. And we do not charge for that. It's just given to you. We have recorded class in Russian, absolutely. We have recorded classes in English with Russian subtitles. Yeah. If you look at the previous class we did like that, so we already have class in English with Russian subtitles. So all the combinations of Russian and English, so it is available. You just have to understand it takes time on your side, but that is how you learn English for the profession. You use it for doing professional things. You use language to do bug reports. You use English language to do test documentation, and that is how we learn, guys. And then you have to go to an interview, and we have to pass that interview. Okay, any questions at that point? Yes, no? Guys, anytime you have a question, just type it in. So I go to the chat to make sure I pick up all the questions. And so we don't want to spend time waiting for questions, but we do pay attention to your questions. So it is kind of interactive. Trying to make it interactive. And if you look at H2 final chat, yeah, I also send them an invitation. So people who studied in Russian, so I sent them the link. and that is informal final is people who are repeating the class. You have unlimited right to repeat each and every class we have here. So we have quite a few of those, yeah, almost 200 people who want to repeat the class. So I also sent them to the invitation. I don't know how many of them are actually present, maybe one or two. I don't know. I just sent them the link, and so in case they might be interested. No question. Are we going to have dictionaries? We have those dictionaries in Russian language class. We do. Let me try. If we go to, what was it? Yeah. If we go there, we have a dictionary. Yeah, let's say session 1. So we have dictionary for session 1. Okay, which has just a couple of words: user interface, redundant, inconsistency, blah blah blah. I'm sorry. If we go to the second session, it might be more than that. It might be dictionary number 2. Yeah, look, we've got quite a few terms here because we started testing. Session number 2, we are testing. So we do have dictionaries. We do. Okay, going back to chat. What about experience? Usually employer hiring people with experience. We do projects, and those projects go into your resumes, and it comes with references from us. So you will not have issues with experience, I can promise you. It is not what will prevent you from getting a job now. So we take care of that. What is here? Any questions? Okay. Keep going then. So where is my presentation? Yes. So why us? As I told you, we are the very first software testing school in the world. But over the last, I would say, 5-6 years, we've got I'm not sure, hundreds or tens of people, offering QA classes. It became very popular. So we made it a legend, I can tell you. We did make that profession a legend. And then lots of people entered that field, especially, I would say, since 2019, 2018 maybe. So let's say they have 5-6 years of experience there in teaching that. And the question is, so why would I go to this school or that school or any other schools? What's the difference, and blah, blah, blah. So again, we are the very first QA school in the world, and which means we have 30 years of experience, not 4, not 5, 30 years of experience. So we are the most experienced bootcamp on the planet. It's like you go to doctor, you want a doctor just out of school, or you want a doctor with years of experience, pretty much at that time. We are the most affordable online program at $15 per hour. Not really. Let's say 25. Yeah, $25 per hour. Okay. You can repeat classes. If you look at our price tag, which is $2,500 for that program, the closest one will be $3,500, and some will charge $5,000 and $6,000 for similar kind of program. So we are probably the most affordable in the market. I don't know anyone who will be as affordable as we are. Okay, and you can repeat classes on unlimited basis at no charge, because our product is not classes. Our product is you changing your profession, changing your career, getting a job, as long as it takes for you to get a job. So you can take our classes. There is no limit on repeating the classes. We do not charge you anything. So 100% of students coming by referral. A year ago, we started to do advertisement. And I would say in the class of today, if we look at how many of you are there, June 20th trial. Out of 64 people, I'm not sure if 3 or 4 are coming from advertisement. Maybe 3, maybe 4. So the rest of you are coming because of referrals. So we do not enroll people through advertisement. We started to do it, but our experience is most of the people come to us because they know us, or they know someone who knows us. So you don't have to pay for advertisement. So we do not charge you an extra $1,000, per person. So it will take care of our advertisement expenses. We pay nothing, almost nothing for advertisement. Many thousand graduates and hiring managers. So all together with number 8, US and international brand name recognition. So when you go to a company, there are going to be graduates of that school there. Well, likely. In Silicon Valley, it's pretty much in every company. So all over the country, we still have lots of graduates from online class, and we have graduates in Europe, on every continent. But besides graduates working there, we still have that brand name recognition. We have videos published on the school website, on the school YouTube channel with hundreds of thousands views and so on. We started the online part of the bootcamp in May of 2011. So basically 13 years ago. 13 years ago, we started the online part of it. We do have a campus in Silicon Valley. And we are the only, by the way, we are the only school where you can go, which does have a campus. Because most of the people who are teaching, who are offering classes, they have a laptop, and that is what they have. So we do have a campus. We do have actual students there. We have people coming from other states, to take classes on campus. And I'm teaching your class, so you get the profession from, I would say, from the first hands, my hands. So, and I've been doing that for 30 years, and I'm the owner. I'm not just someone who is being paid for teaching classes. And I trained myself, God knows, 15,000 people already, at least. So, and that is the very last class which I'm going to teach myself. I'm 68 years old now, just turned 68 in April. And I said, okay, we celebrate 30th anniversary of the school in August, and I stopped teaching myself. So I will do other things, but I will not be teaching. So guys, there is some advantage of being my student, I can tell you. We have great team, and you will work with that team. You will see how brilliant they are. So whoever will be working with your team, they are brilliant, and it took me many years to bring the team together. Okay, it's a brilliant team. But still, I'm one of the diamonds in that brilliant team. Keep going. So in the morning class, we didn't do morning schedules before. We started that maybe 2 years ago because we were thinking about those in Europe, Poland and Germany and UK, and same in Russia and Ukraine and Belarus. So they couldn't take our evening class because it was early morning, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in Europe. So we said, okay, let's do some European schedule. So we will start 10 a.m. in California, which is probably 8 p.m. in Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, and maybe 7 p.m. in Poland, Germany, those places. What we found out is that many people are joining that morning schedule from the United States. So we didn't expect that. It wasn't what we were thinking about, but eventually I think we have more people from US in that class than from European countries. By the way, guys, if you are not in US, where are you? Just write it in the chat. Where are you? No, we are teaching. Okay. I've got my morning brandy, which is just a tea, just black tea. Spain, Czech Republic, Russia, Ukraine, more of Czech Republic. Okay. Trial info. Central Asia, just hiding the place. Kazakhstan, Germany, Poland, St. Petersburg, Azerbaijan, US, Michigan. You are not paying attention to my questions. I said if you are not in US. Obviously, we have quite a few people here who are in US and Canada. Kazakhstan, Turkey. Okay. Yeah, but again, Belarus. Okay. Russia. Okay, guys. So, but most of you are in the United States, and so that is how it works statistically. Yeah, so we have classes for European time zone, and that is exactly the one where we are right now. So you do not need a US visa to work or work permit to work remotely for US employer. Same for European Union countries. So you might live in Kazakhstan and work for German or American company. So you do not need any work authorization. You would need that work authorization if you move to the United States and you want to work there. If you move to Germany and you want to work there. But for remote work, you do not need any employment authorization. All you need is just being able to do the job and being able to find the job, which is not necessarily easy. But it is doable. We know people who work remotely for overseas employers. So we have graduates working in most of the European Union and former Soviet Union countries, Emiratis, New Zealand, Australia, God knows, you name it, Vietnam, Israel, Pakistan. Yeah, not many, guys, not many. I mean, it might be one person in Finland and maybe another one in Romania, maybe a couple of those in Italy, maybe 3 or 4 in Czech Republic, maybe 2 in Switzerland and 5 in UK and 3 in Ireland, that kind. I mean, not hundreds. We have lots of people working in Canada. Yes, we always have Canadians here. In average, Canadians and Europeans find jobs faster than US graduates. When I ask myself why it happens, I think probably the supply in Europe and Canada is not as massive as we have in the United States, where profession is very popular and we have tens, maybe hundreds of boot camps, and each and every city college teaching that stuff. So they produce lots of people who might go to the job market. So that is why. Or maybe because we are looking at our graduates. So let's say you are in Poland or you are in Germany, and when they look at your resume, so you have professional education and projects done in the United States, in Silicon Valley, so it might be more attractive. So it's difficult to judge. But as a matter of fact, so they get jobs faster. When it comes to jobs in, let's say, in Russia, in Kazakhstan, we have people getting jobs there. I would say most recently, most of the jobs are found in banks. So there is practically no outsourcing from US and European Union to Russia anymore and Belarus, but banks are local employers where our graduates normally would get a job in those countries. We support your job search with projects, resumes, references, interview preparation. Basically, we package you, so making sure that you just go and get a job. We teach you how to get interviews. It's not like you're not born with that knowledge. And people who have experience, let's say let's say you have a developer, and that developer has 10 years of experience, and that developer tells you, I will tell you how to get a job. He doesn't know how you might get a job. He knows how to get a job if you have 10 years of development experience, and it's not you, and it's not going to be helpful. See what I mean? So we know how to get a job exactly in your market niche. We know which questions they're going to ask you. You might Google for QA interview questions, but we know questions which are being asked and reported by our graduates. So in your market niche, in your geography. See what I mean? So we have some knowledge which allows you to compete successfully. We will teach you how to create your profiles on job search platforms in such a way that you're going to be at the top of the search results. So let's say recruiter is searching for QA person, and then 300 profiles are found, and you are number one, maybe two, maybe three out of 300. So you get all the phone calls, all the contacts, and so on. Okay, so just making sure you understand where we go. By the way, as I wrote here for you, the portnov.net is our online class web page. Do not confuse portnov.net with portnov.com. Portnov.com is a campus website. It's a different program, different price, different everything. So we are portnov.net. So let me go to portnov.net. And in the list of classes we have, hey, come on, a list of the classes, courses. We have that one. See, it says in Russian, Работа в США. I was teaching that class, and it is available in recordings. And strangers will pay $200 to take that class in recorded way. You will get it for free, so you will have access to that. But even if you go there today, you will see a couple of videos, maybe abbreviated a little bit. Yeah, it says first hour out of 2. First lecture is public domain, so you can learn about principles and terminology and blah, blah, blah. It takes maybe 2 hours. And that one is about resume, and that is about interview. Certain pieces, okay, certain pieces. I make it public so you can get an idea who will teach you. And those are in Russian. Those are in Russian. So you understand better why you are at the right place and why you, I mean, if you really want to be there, why you have to do it with us. Any questions, maybe about job search or things like that? I don't know, whatever might be of your interest. What can increase chances to have a remote job in the USA in the Pacific time zone? What can increase chances to have a hybrid job in Modesto or Tracy? Well, if you are in Modeste or Tracy, so you're pretty much like, I mean, you can get a job in Silicon Valley. So it's very close. It's very close. So hybrid jobs are maybe, God knows, 70%, 75%, close to that. So whatever you find, most likely it is going to be a hybrid job. So Modesta or Tracy is very close. So there is no issue there. Some people would commute from Tracy or Modesta to Silicon Valley on everyday basis. I know people like that. It's not easy, it's not nice, but it is doable. But for hybrid jobs, it's perfect. Remote job, Pacific time zone. You look for a job, okay, and then you practice. You pretend you will take any job, whatever they have, and then they give you a job offer, and you say, well, let's do it for 3 months. Let's do it remotely, and in 3 months, if you want to keep me, if you offer me permanent position, so then I will move to your area. So at least for 3 months you will have that job remotely, and maybe they will agree to keep you on remote position for longer time. So it is not like iron made, it's flexible. It is flexible, even though the original intent might be to hire you for hybrid job, so they might show some flexibility. You cannot decide that upfront. We still have in Pacific time zone, we have Silicon Valley, we have Los Angeles, we have San Diego, we have Orange County with tons of jobs. We have Portland, we have Seattle, really, and even if it is not exactly Pacific time zone, so it might be just 1 hour, aside, which is also okay. So I mean, I don't think you are going to have any problem with that. So it is not a fundamental issue. It's a minor thing. Are there video uploaded from previous sessions that we may be able to access and watch if we have the time to get ahead? Or absolutely. I mean, look. Okay, let me show you my browser. So that is your class. Okay, so let's do this. I'm trying. Yeah, H2 final. Yeah, that is the H2 class. That is the class which was in Russian. Okay, which was in Russian. Here is the complete recording. That is the complete recording of the class with projects, with all the sessions, with QA. That is QA part. So you have video, you have notes, you have the dictionary which we make. So that is the class in Russian. If we want it in, wait a second, May, okay, okay, January 16th, okay. January 16th is complete. So January 16th, okay, you go, I mean, the completed class, the same as yours. So we can take morning class, we can take evening class. If we look at the morning class, previous to yours, it is going to be SU5. Yeah, here is the one. SU5. You are SU like Soviet Union. Yeah, SU5, SU6. So that is an exact same class as yours. Exact same class. SU5 and your SU6. Yeah. That is an exact same class. Is that English? Yeah, English 2. So English 1 is in H1 and English 2 is SU6. So English class. You have webinars. Everything is recorded. You can definitely go faster. We have another way of taking classes with us. It is called individual curriculum or custom curriculum. So maybe you are driving a truck and you have very specific schedule. or whatever your other commitments could be. So then you talk to me and we make your individual curriculum built out of live classes and recorded classes. And so once a week we communicate to rearrange the way you go. Oh, absolutely. We have quite a few people on individual curriculum. I believe we are 100% flexible on what we are doing. Okay. Okay. What do you think? I live in Sacramento. I can work in Silicon Valley on hybrid. Yeah, hybrid or remote, completely remote. Yes. So you can easily go 2 days a week. You can go to Silicon Valley. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. The same as Tracy, same as Modesta. Yes. Do I have a separate class to teach job search? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But it is at the moment it is recorded. It's called J1. So it is in Russian. So, and I told you that we have it in the school. On the school website, there is a link. I just did show you. Yeah, we do have that class. It's 20 hours, and it costs $200 to take if you are not in a school. Yeah, sure. For strangers, it's $200. Boot camp. I'm not sure what you mean under the boot camp, but to us, boot camp. If you look at our schedules, okay, let me go there again. Boot camp is like an internship, like company internship. The difference is we run the boot camp. Let's say testing, custom curriculum, which I just mentioned. So we have testing boot camp and we have boot camp with Tanya. There are two different boot camps. Boot camp is like an internship. So it is a 6 weeks long program where we have a real industry application, and we teach that application in Agile Scrum mode. And it comes, we charge $500 to people who are in the school to take that one, but we probably I just closed the wrong one. We give it to you at no cost, at no charge, if you pay upfront. Where is that? God, it is June. Yeah. No. Okay, I will find it here. Or SU6. I'm sorry. Cut. Here is your page. SU6. If you pay upfront, $2,500, so you get it for free, no charge. So you it really enhances your marketability. Coming back to Victoria, who reported that she got a job. Let me show you again. Where is that Victoria's message? She mentions that. No, just a second. It was somewhere here. I apologize. Takes. Oh, okay, Victoria. Okay, look what she says. She says, I created a profile on Dice and other platforms in January, but I didn't look for a job actively. In February and March, okay, I participated in a boot camp. By the way, Tanya's boot camp helped me a lot in interview preparation. Yeah. So that is. So she took that boot camp. It is very helpful. I can tell you, very strong, very helpful. SU6. Wait a second. Yeah. Here is your page. Okay. Going back. Going back to you trial. Okay. How to get to that class? You contact me in Skype. You say, okay, I'm interested in that class. It takes a minute. Which notebook is better? Any laptop which runs a browser, so would be okay. So no specific requirements for powerful computer. Not really. Not really. What bootcamp is included if you pay in full? The one for mobile testing or one for web testing? Whatever you choose, it's your choice. It's your choice. In reality, we have 3 different bootcamps, not just one, not 2. We have 3 different bootcamps, but whichever one you want, so it's yours. So no limitation. So we don't tell you which one to take. Okay, keep going. Keep going. What testers do at work? So, what testers do? First of all, we have to clarify a little bit what is software testing. What kind of activity is that? So, software testing is making sure that requirements for software development are properly implemented. So, some people create requirements. Developers take requirements and develop software to satisfy the requirements, but whatever humans are doing is not perfect, is not ideal. So that is why we have testers who also look at the requirements and make sure that actual software is same as expected software based on requirements. So basically we compare actual software to requirements. And since there are going to be lots of discrepancies there, so we report those discrepancies. We write bug reports. So that is what our job itself is. So software testing is about comparing actual and desired software application. So what do? So we learn the product, we learn the requirements. Then we do what's called exploratory testing. Exploratory testing means non-systematic. So we just try this and try that. Kind of, it is broader than structured software where you just follow the procedures. Because if you just follow the procedures and procedures are not 100% covering the functionality, which is normally the case, so then there are going to be lots of things you never see. So exploratory testing helps you to get an idea of software. So you explore, you learn. Let's say you get into a new car, okay, and you've never drove that car. So let's see, let's try, let's take a drive, whatever issues might be found. So that is kind of exploratory. Then the better idea of the product you have, so the more you are likely to be able to document that knowledge in the form of test cases. So test case is the smallest possible test to cover the smallest possible requirement. For example, we are in Notepad. Let's say edit find. Yeah. Okay, let me remove the text here. So find. When I open the dialog box, the find what text field is empty. But you know what? The find next button is disabled. I cannot push that button. It's not working. Yeah? It is disabled. So that is the test case. Make sure the field is empty. Okay. And then make sure the button is disabled. What if I type just one character here? Let's say Z. Boom. You type something, so it's not empty. Make sure it is not empty. Make sure the button is enabled now, so you can actually push that button. So we have two test cases here. Each test case might fail or succeed. For example, if I do that like file save as, for example. And guys, look at it. So Notepad is a product of Microsoft, by the way. Microsoft. So what if I made that field empty, file name field? It's empty now. Well, I can tell you the save button should be disabled. It's not disabled. See? I can push the button, nothing happens, but it should be disabled. So at that point, if imagine I work for Microsoft and I test Notepad, I would write a bug report. I would say disable save button if file name field is empty. See what I mean? So it might fail or succeed, pass or fail. So that is our job. Not just that small joke, but so you learn the product, you do some ad hoc testing, you write test cases, you execute test cases. Each and every time developers make changes. So there's going to be new version, new release, new build created, so compiled, and then you test it again and again and again. Each and every time there are some changes made, it comes back to us and we make sure that nothing got broken and those changes are working properly. So we execute test cases. Okay. But since we execute test cases a lot, again and again, so we might want to automate test cases. So some people in software testing are specializing in test automation, which is more skilled job. It pays more money. And in the ideal world, you might go to the job market to get your test automation job as a first job. The problem here is that statistically, it's my statistics, it's not official in any way. In my statistics, so out of 100 people who are in the chat right now, 85 out of 100 are capable of going and getting a manual testing job after that class. And only 15% out of 15 people out of 100 are able to go and get test automation job. So that is why test automation is not as popular as manual testing, because just fewer people, 5-6 times, less people are capable of doing that as a first job. Eventually, when you get your first job in QA, manual QA, so you will eventually go to automation. Those of you who are technical, if you are technical and you want to do automation at the beginning of your career, so we have a pretty good class on test automation. And if you take it with manual, just a second. We charge $2,500 for manual, we charge $2,500 for automation, but if you take them together, instead of 5,000, it's going to be 4,000. Plus you get for free the boot camp, 6 weeks boot camp. So you get everything for $4,000 if you pay upfront. But again, most of the people are not able to do automation right away. That is why we have separate class for automation. We do not want you to experience humiliation and kind of negative stuff, because you are not capable of learning automation upfront. That is why we keep it separate. Okay. Right. Automation, that is what testers do. Some testers do. We write bug reports, so reporting the problems. We make sure that bugs are fixed. And since most of us are working in agile environment now, so we have to follow the agile rituals. We have to know how to operate in that agile environment. So that is pretty much what we have to learn here in the class, because that is what testers do. And we learn a little bit of automation. We do not want you to go for test automation job after that class, but we give you some basics. So even if you go for manual QA positions, they still want you to be able to talk about automation and to do maybe some basic things about automation, and that is what we learn in that class. So that is what testers do. The next one, so what do you need to get a job? What do you need to know? So you learn how to test, which means writing test cases. If you know how to write test cases, you can test. If you know how to test, you know how to write test cases. You will learn it nicely here. We learn the theory of that. We do 2 projects of that. You will go to boot camp, hopefully, and do it for 6 weeks, like in a normal employment. Learn how to report bugs. That is the easy thing. So you're going to be pretty much good bug reporters in 2 weeks. Talk about the projects in your resume, and that is why we have projects, and that is why we have interview clearance, the interview preparation. Follow our job search guidelines. So you do not look for a job intuitively, okay? Or you do not look for a job because there is some idiot who told you how to do that. You look for a job with me, okay? I give you guidelines, I control how you do that, and we have a chat for people who are on the job market. So we meet once a week. Actually, yesterday we had a meeting. So, and we discuss what is happening and so on. So you look for a job with me. It is not kind of natural, intuitive activity, not even close to that. So you do that with me. So that is what you need to get a job. What else? And here is what we learn. Okay, what we learn. We learn software testing methodology specializing in web and mobile applications. We learn how to do test planning and test documentation. Bug reporting and working with bug tracking software, because bug reports should be filed with certain bug tracking databases, bug tracking systems. So we will learn that one. We are doing 2 in-house testing projects. We learn how to look for a job. 1 month boot camp, actually 6 weeks. Yeah, it's not 1 month, it's 6 weeks. 6 weeks boot camp is available separately, but again, if you pay upfront, so it's given, so you don't pay for it. Gray box testing with Unix, SQL, REST API, it's a part of your program. So it's black box and gray box and a little bit of automation, fundamentals of test automation. That is what we learn. And when you look at the schedule, guys, you will see, okay, let me save it. When you look at the schedule, and it is right here, schedule, let me open it in a separate folder. You will see what we are learning here. In that D column, software QA, English, we have English every day. Then we have web testing project starts. It starts July 2nd. So my job is to prepare you to the project. So I will do bug reports with you. I will do some test cases with you, and then you start the project, and we continue talking about test cases. And so you will finish your project on July 19th. That is pretty much the time when we might start looking for a job if you want to go to the job market as soon as possible. So 1 project is enough to start working on your resume and preparing to the job market activities. By the way, anybody who wants to go to the job market as soon as possible. Can I speak to you individually? Sure, you can. Where to start testing if I am a system administrator? Which job to choose first? When to start testing? I'm not sure what you are asking about. Let's say you're a sysadmin and you want to be in QA, let's talk. I mean, just contact me after the class, and I will look closer at your situation. So the full package is 4,000. Yes, for 4,000 you get manual, automation, and 6 weeks boot camp. Yes, if you pay upfront. If you do not pay upfront, then it's 2,500 for manual, 1,800 for automation, and 500 for bootcamp. Okay, I'm a bit confused about the upfront payment thing. So let's say if I pay 2,500 for the course before the end of the first 3 week classes, is it considered an upfront payment? Yes, sure. It is. It is. So if you pay 2,500 before the session number 4, you will get the manual testing class, and at no charge included, you have the bootcamp there. Yes. I work in the morning in the USA. Will the course suit for me? Will I be able to understand and absorb the subject if I took the lesson on record? You can look. You can start the morning class. We have evening class as well. We have class started May 14th, which is an evening class. So what you can do, you can spend the month to kind of combining both classes. So in a month, you can actually be completely in the evening class, or you can do them in parallel. So that is what we call individualized curriculum. So we just contact me and we look at how to put things together. We do have an evening class. It just started a month ago. Is it possible to find a job completely remotely? I live in Spokane, Washington. As I told you, 30% of the people getting their first job, 30%. That is our school statistics, the online class statistics. So 30% are completely remote, 100% remote. It is possible. It is possible. Okay. 200, the class, the job search class. Is it 200 for everybody? It is 200 for those who is not our student. If you are a student, so it's free. If you are not a student, if all you want is just to take that class, I was teaching that class a couple of months ago, and we had 100 people there. 100 people were there when I was teaching the class. And they do not belong to the school. So if you are in the school, it's free. English for IT. Is it going to be in the schedule? It is in the schedule, and I did just show you the schedule. Yeah, here is the schedule. It says English for QA, English for QA, English for QA, English for QA. We do have it, and we have 15 sessions here, and we also have 15 sessions in, where is it, H2 class? H2 class, where is it? Yeah. Okay. Here is the class in Russian, and here are the first sessions. So we have session 1, session 2, session 3, 4, 6. So we have them recorded. Okay. Okay. Keep going. Reminder, it says. Remember, okay. So you are where you are, and you're having what you are having. If you want to have more, to get more from the universe, so you have to change. You have to be different. So we are in the business of helping you with that change. So more is available to you. So we have two goals. Goal number 1 is so you get a job, and goal number 2 is you keep the job, which is different thing. So to get a job, we can teach you maybe for a month, but to keep the job, we need 3 more months. So you have to know what you are doing. So to keep the job. And what our expectation is from you. So we want you to come with a hard work, commitment, so you do not drop it in 5, 10, sessions or in the middle of a class. You are committed, and we need your trust, because it is important. So if you do not trust us in what we are teaching you, so then God knows what's going to happen to you. Really, I don't know. So trust is a problem for some people. They listen to many different sources, 90% of which are complete idiots, and that is a problem. I mean, if you listen to idiots instead of listening to people who know all about that subject, that is a problem. Okay, so we need your trust, hard work, and commitment. So then it is going to be pretty much successful. What else we have? So the course components, it says we have in total we have 100 hours. Honestly, it's a little bit more, because when I go for 1 hour session, I 1 hour is not enough for me. So most of the sessions I teach will be more than that. So let's say altogether it's going to be 110, 115, 115, that kind. So technically 100 hours, out of which 24 are about software QA, 36 projects and mobile testing, 20 hours of backend testing, 20 hours of coding and test automation. So webinars are recorded, made available. So for forever, for life. Okay. Not just your webinars, but all the future webinars. So everything is available. Repeating the class on unlimited basis is included, so no charge. Yesterday, I talked to a gentleman who took another class somewhere, and he says they want me to pay $250 for repeating the class. And I'm saying, I do not understand why. I mean, why? It's an online class. It's not like I need a chair for you. It's not like I have to reject someone so you can take the class. Not really. I mean, it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything to me if you repeat the class. But when you repeat the class, so you have a chance to get a job. And when you get a job, it's my best advertisement I can imagine. So I have best advertisement I can imagine for free. Why should I say no? Really? So definitely it is available. Previous class webinars available. Video archive is available. We have video archive, which is how to say, all the videos which we organize in a special way. It's about job search. It's about automation. It's about software testing. So we have big video archive. Again, you need time to do that. So the major problem is we do have those videos, but you need time. But we have that video archive, which is maybe 200 hours of that kind. Unlimited online counseling. So anytime you need to talk to someone, you can talk to me, you can talk to Irina, you can talk to teachers. So we are here to make sure you are working. What else? Interview questions. So when our graduates go to the job market, they send us the interview questions, and we want them to send us their answers as well, because we want to correct them. Let's say Victoria just sent me her interview questions. She did go to 2 companies and she sent me 2 files. I was sharing them yesterday. That is why they are with our job search webinar participants. So she sent me her report. Interview questions, first round, 45 minutes. Interview questions, second round, 50 minutes with 4 people. Yeah, she doesn't come up with answers, but she got a job already, so she does not need You know what I will do? I will send it your way. I will send it your way, so you can take a look. Just a second. Trial, yeah. Trial. I will send it to you, so you can look at that. So we know all the questions, and all those questions are in your market niche. Yeah. So, and the questions we go over in our class, and they cover 95% of whatever they might ask you. See what I mean? If you study hard, when you go to the interview, you know all the questions and you know all the answers. They will not ask you anything you are not prepared to. So they are reported by fellow graduates. They are focused on US and Canada job market. I don't think there is any difference with European market. At least I never seen any difference. It is in your market niche, junior, entry level, kind of beginners. Answers provided on web page. We have a web page with questions and answers. We have videos. We have notes, which we do in the class. So we have quizzes. So we drill the answers, questions and answers. We discuss them in the class. So you learn the answers. That is how you make your interview a success. Even if you go for a boot camp and test something, in a real work environment for 6 weeks, even if you work somewhere for 2 years and you come to the job market with 2 years of experience, it doesn't mean you are good at answering interview questions. See what I mean? We have to make sure that when you go to the job market after that class, you are stronger in doing interviews compared to people who already have 2-3 years of actual experience. And you're going to be stronger. You're going to be more competitive than these people. So that is how it works. Okay. Coming back to the notes. By the way, on that class page here, where is the class page? Here is the class page. Session 1. Here you have the session we did with the previous class. I will replace it with your session. So here, instead of October 23, I will write June 20th. I will put your notes. I will put your PowerPoint presentation here. And so you can always go and look at it. Okay? And then you can see session 2 and you can see session 3 with the previous class, so which we did almost a year ago. So on that page, I will keep notes, PowerPoints, and videos for you. Okay. So that is your class page. That is the class page for 3 trial sessions for H2, the class in Russian. So that is the forum. I don't think we need it today. We'll do it later. Okay. Register if you make your mind, if you want to go with the class. So you register here. If you are not ready, don't register. Okay. And then your actual class page. So after you actually register, that's going to be your class page. No dash. See, dash for trial, and that is for the actual class. And how you pay. Interesting. Let me see. Just a second. Okay. Here is the payment button. Yeah. If you decide to pay, here is your payment button. If you decide to register, you can push that button, or you can do it from here. Okay. But on the class page, you can do payments and login registration from here. Yeah, we have 2 class chats. So far, I didn't create second one. Okay, let me remove it so far. So your notes are very limited this time. Okay, and those notes will be found right here. Right here. Any questions now, guys? Let's go for questions. No, nothing. File. Oh, okay. No discrimination. Absolutely. Absolutely no discrimination. So let me save that one. Okay. Okay. Just as an example of what happens when you go to an interview. And she got a job, actually. Actually, I can give you second one. I mean, she gave me two. I can give you second one. Company 1 and company 2. Guys, enjoy. So, if we have no questions, then I would say we are done with session 1. And guys, one more time. I'm honored, of being with you. So you have so many things in your life, to deal with, and you came and you listened, and so no, regardless of if it is going to work for you or not. So I'm still very appreciative of the fact you are considering that class, and I'm doing my best to give you an honest estimate. Honest information. I see how other people do it. I see people saying we will return you all your tuition if you do not get a job within a year, and they're lying. I see people who are saying, okay, look at our ratings, and ratings are fake. You know what? Let me go to Google. Just a second. I go to Google. And is it okay? Is it Google? Google. Okay. Let me say Portnoy School. Portnoy School. Blah blah blah. Reviews. 4.9, guys. 4.9. And we accumulated that over. God knows. 17 more. It started many years ago. Many years ago. We are not manipulating that, so it just happens without our participation. 2012. Look at that. So 4.9. That is what happens, and you can look at that if you want to. I don't know. Some people do not believe in ratings because in certain cultures, let's put it that way, ratings are manipulated completely. But we do not manipulate. What you do on a boot camp? Boot camp is like an internship. It's like a work. Each and every day, or maybe 4 days a week, I'm not sure. You have to read it. You come in the morning. You have a meeting, agile Scrum meeting. You discuss what you do for the day, and then at the end of the day, you get together again for a couple of hours maybe, and you discuss what was found. And it's like a work. It's going to be a real project, and we will mimic the real employment. So you have the opportunity to kind of practice with a real project, and people who run the projects are working in the industry. They are experienced people with many years of experience in doing that stuff. So you will dive into the work environment. We use all the software, all the communication tools, and all the technologies, methodologies. Everything is going to be there. So it's very easy to talk about your experience after that. So in addition to primarily academic knowledge and skills, you will get hands-on skills. So it's not projects with Jana. With Jana, you have 4 sessions on your first project. Here you have 6 weeks with the same project, and you know, how long we will study to package which costs 2,500. 2,500 is 4 months itself plus 6 weeks if you go for a boot camp. 4,000 is 4 months manual, 3 months automation, and the boot camp, if you want to, altogether it would be like 8 months, 8.5 months. But if you have time, if you are not working, if you can study full time basically, so it could be done much faster than that, much faster. And again, let's say you study manual testing, we do your resume, you go to the job market, and you can keep learning automation in parallel with that. So you don't have to wait till the end of the whole thing to be on the job market. Can you do bootcamp online? Whatever we do is online. Bootcamps are online. Classes are online. All we do is online. So there is no way you have to drive or fly or whatever. It's all online. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be happy to answer all your questions. Just ask the questions, and I will talk to you Monday next week. Yeah, we have next session on Monday. I'll be talking to you Monday next week, and you have some time to do the homework. What's your homework? Let me see. Your homework is session 1, session 2. I think just go over what we did today. Do not try to look at session 2 or session 3. Just be with session 1. You don't have to go further so far. And I will update that part within a couple of hours. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much, and I will talk to you on Monday.